Alright, so I'm going to be doing a video on email today. Specifically for this video, we're going to be using Gmail just because I think that's the most user-friendly option and it gives you access to a lot of other resources. So for our table of contents, we are going to be going over how to create an email, log into an email, how to send an email and respond to an email, and then also how to forward emails. We will be going over some things to recognize in unsafe emails. You might have seen them called phishing emails as well. And then we'll be looking at some other Google resources that you have access to with a Gmail account. And then we're going to be setting up email on our iPhone. Unfortunately, I do not have an Android to show you guys how to set it up, but the person that is presenting this PowerPoint or showing you this video will be able to show you how to do those things on an Android phone. So first, we're going to set up an email. Okay, so now we're on a Google Chrome tab. This one looks a little different. Yours will probably be white as the background instead. So we're going to go ahead and just go to google.com. Should pop right up. So you're going to see here in this top right corner, we have a little Gmail icon right here, if you can see my mouse. So when we go here, it's going to have Gmail, and you're going to be able to log in. So normally you would sign in if you already have an account, but we're going to go over here to create an account. And then we're going to have all of these things that we put in. So you would put your first name here, last name here. Since I am creating it for the market, I'm just going to put Linden Market. All right, so after you have put in your first name and your last name, you're going to go ahead and make your username or your email address. So our email address is going to be lindenmarket2022@gmail.com. And then you're going to go ahead and enter a password. And you obviously need to confirm the same password, and it needs to be the exact same password. After you type in your passwords, I recommend clicking this little box and it will show you the password. I'm not going to do it because I don't want to show everyone the password here. But I also recommend using a password that has an uppercase letter, lowercase letters, numbers, and symbols. And do not use the same password if you have something like online banking. Don't use the same password for that. Your online banking password should be totally separate. And I also want to make it known that this email address is solely for our project in terms of creating these classes. We are med students through OSU, so we are helping develop some curriculum. So this email will not be monitored. Please do not email for things related to the market or the such, because this email is not monitored. All right, so after that's done, you're gonna go ahead and hit next. And then here you can go ahead and put in a phone number. I'm not going to put in a phone number because we don't have one, or a recovery email address. These two things right here are used in case you get locked out of your account, so I would encourage you to put them in. They're not going to text you or send you a bunch of random emails. It's just for security purposes. You do have to put in a birth date, so we are just going to put in a random birth date for this account. And your gender, you cannot say male, female, or custom, whatever you prefer. And then it's going to take you to this privacy and terms page. So you're going to go ahead and read through this. If you so desire, you can read through it when you create your own account. I'm just going to go ahead and agree so that we can keep this video rolling. And then it's going to take a while to load here. But you will see here that our email account is now set up. You can see the Gmail in the top corner. So now that we've got our email set up, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how to log in and out of your email on a computer. All right, so you can see here that we are already logged in. So if you go up to this upper right hand corner, it's a circle. It will be some random color. It's different for everyone, and it will have a letter in it. Ours is L because we're Linden Market. So we're going to go ahead and click sign out. You can see here that we're signed out. All right, so now that I'm signed out, it's brought us to this page. It says sign into Gmail to continue. So I'm going to go ahead and enter our email address here. And then we're going to enter our password. And you can go ahead and click this button down here if you want to check your password. We're going to go ahead and hit next. And then we're going to be logged in just like that. Alright, so now that you're logged into your email address, we're going to go up here and click this compose button with the little pen, pencil, whatever you want to call it. And then this little box is going to pop up. You can just dismiss those things. So for the subject, we'll just go put whatever you want. This subject is going to be what the person sees when you send them an email. It's going to be the first thing that pops up. So then we'll just write an email. Perfect. And usually emails people send, you'll put thank you and then your name or some type of closure, and then you usually put a greeting up here. And then recipients, where it says to, this is who you're going to send it to. So I really don't know any email addresses, so we're just going to make something up. So we're just going to send it there. And then if you see these things over here in the corner where it says CC and BCC, this stands for carbon copy and blank carbon copy. So when you click them, these options pop down here. So if I do carbon copy, that means that the person that is carbon copied will get a copy of the email, and the person that I'm sending it to will see that they're being carbon copied. If you do blank carbon copy, the person that's listed down here is still going to get the email, but the other people are not going to see that they're getting the email, if that makes sense. So after you've got your email all typed up, you can add some other stuff. If you want to attach a file, you would click this button here. So you could attach like a PDF or your resume, something like that. You could insert a link to a website. Pretty much, I would say the most thing you're going to use is this attach file here. So after you do this, you're going to go ahead and click this big send button right here. And you can see down here that the message was already sent. And if you want to just double check to confirm that it's sent, on this left-hand side here, you can click the sent button. And right here, you can see that it's sent at 6:16. So for the next part of the presentation, I'm going to show you all how to read and respond to emails that are sent to you. So we're back here at the main page. On this left-hand side, you can see all these like tabs or different options over here. When you log in, it's automatically going to take you to this inbox tab. So your inbox is where people that have sent you emails, this is where they're going to send it to. Starred are going to be emails that you think are important, and you can find them there. You probably won't use this, either. Sent is where you can see what you've sent, and then drafts is going to be emails that you've typed up but haven't actually sent yet, so you can come back and see them later. And then there's all these other options. Those aren't really important. I would just ignore those. So we're going to go to inbox, and you can see here that we have this unread email because it's bolded. So that means that we haven't read it yet. So we're just going to click on it, and we're going to go ahead and read through it. And you can see here that we've just read through our email. Pretty simple. If you got an email from somebody and you were wanting to reply to them, you would just hit this little button right here that says reply, and it's automatically going to put that person in the send options. You would just type out your message like you normally would. We'll just do this just for simplicity's sake. And then you would just hit this send button right down here. I'm not actually going to send it because I don't want to send Google an email, but that is what you would do. And if you decide you don't want to send it, you can hit this trash symbol down here and it deletes the draft. If not, you can go over here to your drafts and you can scroll down and see where you were typing that email up. So we're going to delete it. For the next part of the video, I'm going to show you guys how to forward an email. Alright, so we're back here in our inbox. As you can tell, this is no longer bolded. The words are no longer bolded, and it's kind of grayed out in this section around the words right here. So that's how you know that you've already read the email. So we're just going to click on this because it's the only email we have right now. Scroll down to the bottom, and you're going to see this forward option. So we've got this email here. And we can see that it's forwarding all of this, and we're going to type an email address here. So we're going to do lindenmarket@gmail.com. And then when we hit send, this email is going to get sent to the Linden Market so that they can see what Google sent you. This would be useful if you get an email and you want to forward it to someone so that they can have a chance to look over it. Alright, so we're going to take a little break from the showing you guys the actual email to go over unsafe emails. Unfortunately, this is something that happens a lot, and I found just an example on the internet to show you guys what it may look like when you get an email that is fake and they're trying to get you to send them money or do something that would otherwise compromise your safety or your identity. So you can see here, it says, if you are the rightful holder of this account, you must click the link below. And they're saying that this urgency by saying you must is a bad sign, which is true. It's also pretty unlikely that people are going to send you something like this. You should never click a link like this where you can't see the web address. You always want to know where that's coming from. So you should always see the web address, which is going to be like www.gmail.com or something like that. So you never want to click on these links because you don't know where they're going. And then down here you can see the link says HTTP. It should always say HTTPS. That's how you know that it's safe. So if it said this, that would be a secure website, but this is not a secure website. And you can also see that it's not coming from PayFriend, which is where we see up here that our email should be coming from. It's coming from this random email address. So we don't want to click on this link. Another very obvious sign that an email is coming from somebody who's trying to do something they shouldn't be doing is them having a lot of spelling errors. So you leave us no choice. You can see that choice is misspelled, and then temporarily is also misspelled. So you're not going to want to click on something like that. So we're going to quickly look over some other Google resources that are available to you now that you have a Gmail account. Alright, so we're back on our home page. Now, just for argument's sake, we're going to go to google.com again. You can see we're already logged in up here. And if you see these like 3x3 little dots up here, if you click on that, these are going to be all of the options that you have with your Gmail account. So you could click on Gmail if you wanted to go there. You click on YouTube, Google Maps, Google Drive is something that may be helpful, or Google Calendar. So we'll click Google Calendar, and it's going to take us to this calendar app where you can add stuff. So you've got this resource. You can also go up here and click Google Drive. This is something that's very useful and it's free to use. So it stores all of your files. Just exit out of these things. And if you go up here in the corner and click New, you can do a Google Docs, which is the same thing as Microsoft Word, Google Sheets, which is the same thing as Excel, Google Slides, which is the same thing as Google PowerPoint, and Google Forms is basically a way to create a survey. And I would say those are the most useful apps, but you always have plenty of options up here. Translate may also come in handy. It helps translate from other languages. So we're going to say, let's do English to Spanish. We'll say, my dog is cute. And then it's going to translate it for us. So that's pretty convenient. So I'm going to go ahead and end the video here, and I will upload a separate video about how to log into email on your iPhone and just how to work email on iPhone as well. Thanks for listening, and I hope this was helpful.